Hello and welcome back to another episode of LMScast. My name is Chris Badgett, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about 3 ways SaaS product companies win with an online course strategy. So SaaS stands for Software as a Service. So these are like those monthly applications and things that you subscribe to on a monthly basis. Companies like that, we're going to be talking about how they can benefit by integrating online courses into their business growth strategy. Now, it's really important to note too that if you are a different type of product company, maybe a physical product or even a brick and mortar business, you can still use a lot of the same concepts we're going to talk about here. But for all intents and purposes, we're going to be talking about using online courses with a SaaS company. So one of the biggest opportunities with an online course for a SaaS company is for inbound marketing. So that's content marketing. It's content that helps drive leads, which drive sales. So, a lot of companies are creating YouTube videos, they're making blog posts, they might have a podcast, but when you create an online course, you give your potential prospective user or customer an opportunity to experience or learn in depth about the product and how it works and what it can do for them in a way that just a sales page on a website just can't really give the full experience. It more hints at it. It's like a website's going to have features and benefits and things, but it's not going to show you from the beginning, okay, you've got it. Here's how you install it. Here's how you set everything up. Here's how to use it. Here's how to get the most out of it. A lot of that stuff is highly underrated as a sales tool. And what people end up looking at oftentimes, prospective customers, is documentation, which is, especially in the software community, is known to be of not the best quality for a lot of reasons. One, it's not necessarily that fun to create. Number two, technology is always changing and evolving fast, so it's hard to keep the documentation current and that sort of thing. But if you slow down, you take a step back, you really focus on wanting to get those greater leads and sales and really invest in creating an online course around your product, it can be highly beneficial as a sales tool. And of course, in that scenario, I would recommend making that online course free and not a paid product if your goal is to get more prospective leads and sales. So when you make that course, if you're using a tool like Lifter LMS, you can you're also capturing an email address when someone creates their user. So not only will the prospective customer have the opportunity to go through all the content and experience what it's like, what it would hypothetically be like to be using the product, but also you have that email address so that you can now have a follow-up campaign if you want to see if you can nurture that sale that way. So you kind of get the 2 wins. A lot of people collect emails, with some kind of opt-in bribe or content upgrade, download this free report or just subscribe to the mailing list. There's no real strong, reason for the people to give up their email address, which they're historically becoming more and more tight with giving that out because we're all getting overwhelmed with too much email. But when you offer an online course, you're really justifying and giving them a reason to give you that email, to create that user account, to invest that little step of trust in you and your company. And then if your online course is good, it's really going to help nurture that sale. So that's using online courses in SaaS companies as a form of inbound marketing. The other piece is you can use that exact same course of how to use my product as also customer onboarding. So even after the sale, that same course is still available, it's still free, and it walks people through how to, set up, use, and get the most out of your product. And again, if you take the time and you really get into the mind of instructional design and really help approach your student with beginner's mind of okay, this is step 1, A to Z. We're not going to skip any steps. This is how to best use our course or our product and continually improve that course over time, you're going to develop a really strong customer onboarding asset that's a lot more powerful than just documentation that's a little stodgy and dry. And you're just going to really help those customers succeed, because a lot of people, especially in the software as a service world, people will sign up for something, they'll try to use it. If they're not like getting the support and the resources they need, they're going to drop it and refund, or just stay on for a month or two and then they're gone. And that's not what you want to see have happen. So really focusing on that customer onboarding. And that's really great when you can do the two birds with one stone there, of creating an inbound marketing asset and also a customer onboarding asset with the exact same free online course. And now the next benefit is employee onboarding. So if you're running that software company, and let's say you are bringing in new level 1 support people to man the chat or the support email, you can use that exact same course, again, that free course, as a tool to help your new people get up to speed without necessarily needing a mentor to step in and walk them one-on-one through everything, when you have this online course as a way to help them get up to speed and be able to best help your customers. So again, there's that same course for another use for employee onboarding. And it's also cool too, because it forces you, in the employee onboarding sense, you could create other courses about like, this is our outbound sales process. And so you're training a new prospector in your company, like, how do we prospect? Now, this isn't a course that you would necessarily make public, but you would use internally. But when you create that course, it forces the teacher to have to really document the process, which is not necessarily a fun thing to do. But once people like slow down and actually create a process that can be put or designed into an online learning experience, you've not only made that teacher better at what they do, because they had to really focus and figure out what it is they actually do that works, but you've also created an asset that can be used over and over and over and over again at unlimited scale. So that's the power of online courses for employee onboarding. Now, the big thing with SaaS companies is, so how does this actually help the company grow? Well, you're going to get more leads, if you have an online course and you're inbound marketing, and you're going to give customers what they want, which is the ability to kind of window shop without having to get on the phone with you, or send emails asking questions because it wasn't clear exactly what your product does. And then you're also creating a tool that's going to help onboard those customers. So you're getting more customers when you actually onboard your customer, instead of just walking away after the sale and just having email conversations with them if they need support. If you have a true customer onboarding sequence, what you're doing is you're reducing churn, which is where people, the lifetime value of the customer, where do they fall off? Where do they churn out of the business? What is the average churn? Let's say you have a churn of 16 months or 8 months. But after your customer onboarding, I would hypothesize that you would be extending the lifetime value of your customer, and they would churn further and further into the future because you gave them the tools they needed to be successful with your product. And then, of course, investing in your team and your employees is a really powerful way to just build a company and improve your product and improve the customer experience if those people are trained in. I think we've all worked at a company or know people who worked at a company where there was no real training. You just got thrown to the wolves and there was no real process in place. And while that's good and it forces people to either grow or fail quickly, it's not really the professional way of doing things if you care about success and efficiency. So, well, that is it for this episode of LMScast. That was 3 ways SaaS product companies can win with online course strategy. And even if you're not in the software business, but you're in business, period, you can still take these same concepts and run with them and use online courses less as like its own product or that you're going to use to try to grow a new revenue stream, but rather to support your existing business. Because online education isn't just about making new products. It's also about helping people better use the products that are already out there. So if you would like to find out more about all this, I'm going to give you a link here. We have a service at Lifter LMS where we set up an online course platform for you in just 5 days, with or without your content. And if you're interested in discussing that, we can absolutely go down that road. And what that's all about is you as a software product owner, you may not be the you may have technology and be into technology, but you may not want to invest in learning the new skill or making mistakes while building an online course delivery system or learning management system. So if you want to work with the professionals who do this sort of thing, check us out. That's lifterlms.com/my-SaaS-customer-onboarding-courses. And we can go into more detail about, what it would be like to work together, and you can hear a little bit more about the opportunity with all this stuff. But again, thank you for listening to this episode of LMScast. I wish you all the best success in getting your product company going and successful. And if you'd like to connect at a deeper level, again, you can check us out at lifterlms.com/my-SaaS-customer-onboarding-courses. All right. Thank you and have an awesome day.